And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be talking about the Dodgers and the Phillies and their upcoming series. So just talking about that and previewing it, so let's get into it. So obviously, Dodgers and the Phillies, the two teams I've had at the top of my power rankings for the past few weeks. So not top in the league, but both have been top 5 and both have been the top NL teams. And I would say most people agree with that. I don't really know at this point how anyone can say the Dodgers and Phillies aren't the two top NL teams, have been for a little while. Really, since the Braves have kind of skidded and dealt with all those injuries, I think the Phillies and Dodgers really have become the top two. And they are playing now in a series. They are playing each other They are playing each other starting tonight. So I did just want to talk about the series and just go over, who has the advantage, what's going on with them, what these two teams look like for the future and the rest of this year, and just going over it in general. So very interested. So let's get into it. Obviously, it is going to be in Philly. It is starting tonight at 6:40. Great time for baseball, by the way. Getting off topic a tiny bit. 6:40 is the perfect time for baseball. I mean, really, it is. I don't understand why more teams don't do 6:40, but it is whatever. But anyways, so obviously, in my opinion, two best NL teams facing each other off should be very, very interesting. A potential NLCS preview. I like a lot of people. I think a lot of people would say yes that this is going to be on the NLCS, but we'll have to see. So. First, for the Phillies, they already have an advantage. Harper and Schwarber are returning. They have both been activated off the 10-day injured list. Is it a coincidence that they've both been activated off the 10-day injured list right before they're about to play the Dodgers? I don't really think so. I think this was pretty much planned by the Phillies, that they, even if they were healthy, they wouldn't be off the injured list. So, yeah, will be interesting to see about that. We'll be interested to see now if Bryce Harper does play in the All-Star game coming off that injury. But yeah, obviously a nice boost there for this Phillies team, getting both Harper and Schwarber back. Obviously two of the better bats in this entire lineup, probably the two best. So that's nice for them. So starting off this series, today we have Zach Wheeler versus Bobby Miller, which should be an interesting game. Now, I would obviously say that the Phillies have the advantage here. Bobby Miller's a very solid young pitcher, a guy I have a lot of hopes for in the future, but has been injured a lot of this year. Hasn't really been able to put it together when he is healthy. So playing Zach Wheeler, I think the Phillies have the obvious advantage at this point. I think they are clearly the team that has the pitching advantage for this one. So I would say they have the advantage there for the first game. Then after that, you have Gavin Stone versus Christopher Sanchez, which I would say honestly is pretty even. I've given a lot of credit to Christopher Sanchez, how well he's breaking out this year with this Phillies team and how well he's done. But Gavin Stone is not someone that I think has been given enough credit and has been someone that really has gotten a lot of press for how well he's done this year. The Dodgers have so many top prospects, have so many top players, that a guy like Gavin Stone is really going to fall under the radar. But without him, I think this rotation would have crumbled a long time ago. Has really become a great middle-of-the-rotation starter when you've had guys like Clayton Kershaw, Yoshinobu Yamamoto go down for a significant amount of time, and Stone has filled in very well. Was a former top prospect with them who, while he didn't do great in the major leagues, I don't really think he ever got a chance, fully, because of how many good players were on this Dodgers team. And now being able to get a chance to really start and contribute to this team, he's done a fantastic job. And he's really become a great middle-of-the-rotation starter for this Dodgers team, and has been a very good player for them. Now, I would say this is pretty even with Sanchez and Stone. I think both are pretty good middle-of-the-rotation arms. Both guys, when the teams are fully healthy, are more 4 or 5s, which just shows how great their rotation depth is. I mean, Stone, again, has made 16 starts this year, has a 3 ERA, 92 innings, has been great, K per 9 of 7. This is a guy who's been a very good starter, 25 years old, finally becoming the guy I think the Dodgers really expected. So that's a nice guy right there. So that should be a very interesting pitching matchup. Two guys who finally broken out after a little bit of time in the Major League, Christopher Sanchez and Bobby Miller. So I would give both the tie there. I said Bobby Miller. I meant Gavin Stone, obviously. Sorry. And then the last game we have is the Dodgers have TBD listed in Aaron Nola. TBD, obviously, is to be determined. I was going to make some joke about it, but I decided at the last second not to. Obviously, the Phillies had the advantage there. The Dodgers have a lot of pitching injuries right now, and I think really just 6 games before this All-Star break, they're kind of just coast through it and relying on their offense. So obviously the Phillies had the advantage there of knowing that they're going to have Aaron Nola, one of the better pitchers in baseball, pitch. So obviously right now the Phillies have the advantage, I would say, in the pitching rotation. Also, in the pitching department, I would also say for the lineup right now, they probably do have the advantage. They just got Harper and Schwarber back while the Dodgers lost Mookie a little while ago. So I would again say that I think right now the Phillies have the better team. I think right now, again, the best team in the National League. So I do think the Phillies have the advantage going, all that going for them. Playing in Philly, again, I think they have the better team. But overall, I'm very interested to see what this matchup looks like, who takes home, who takes home the series win. And I really do think it is a big series for both these teams. I think the Phillies are trying to prove to everyone that they are legit and that they are a team to really be messed with, because we're really not used to them being this good in the regular season. Now, they've made the NLCS 2 years in a row, made the World Series a year ago, and even with that, we don't really ever expect them to be this good in the regular season. We kind of look at them as a postseason team, and the way they've been able to really play this regular season, play this well, has really been fantastic, and yeah, it's just been really, really great. So props to them. And I think if they do end up winning the series, getting the 2 out of 3, obviously sweeping 3 out of 3, I think that would really have people like, okay, this Phillies team is really great. Obviously, we know they're great already, but I think it would really prove to a lot of people that, okay, they're not a team to mess with. They are very good, and they deserve to be up here and where everyone has them, all the rankings and all that. So it's a big test for this Phillies team, and yeah, I'm just really interested to see where the series goes. So looking at both these teams now, really going into the All-Star break and the trade deadline. For the Phillies, again, I think they're the best team in the NL. I don't really think they have many big needs, but if they do have one, I've said it before, I think they need a center fielder. They really banked on Johan Rojas becoming the guy in center field for the foreseeable future after a really good season last year out of nowhere. But he did not come through this year again with as good of a season, so he is in AAA now. So I think really the Phillies need a center fielder out there. Honestly, I think they need a long-term solution. You could just say, get a corner outfielder, move Brandon Marsh to there. No, I disagree. I think the Phillies need good outfield defense. They didn't have it for a long time, and I think it really cost them. When you can have Nick Castellanos or Kyle Schwarber playing a corner outfield spot, I think you need to have the 2 other guys in your outfield be very good to make up for that. So I don't really think you should get a trashy corner outfielder who can hit well. Maybe a guy like Brent Rooker, as much as he's been connected to them, I don't really think he's a fit, because I think they need a center fielder more. I think you should be able to get a good center fielder who can field well, obviously hit well as well, just be a good all-around player. Keep Brandon Marsh in right field, and then have both those guys be really good fielders there, and to kind of make up for the lackluster defense Schwarber and Castellanos are going to bring in the corner spots. So I think there's been a few players that have been mentioned. First of all, Jazz Chisholm, who I mentioned yesterday. I think Chisholm is a really, really great fit for this Phillies team. Obviously, he's in the best defender in center field, so I'm kind of, I'm blanking on the word. I'm kind of being a hypocrite. There we go. I'm kind of being a hypocrite. But at the same time, I think Chisholm is still learning the center field position. I mean, moved there from the infield in his professional career rather recently, so I think he has the potential to become a good fielding center fielder. Has great instincts out there, being a second baseman and shortstop. Has great speed, and is good with the glove as well. I think really just needs to know how to play balls better. So I think Chisholm would be a good add to this Phillies team. Also, Cody Bellinger, if the Cubs really do want to fully sell, I think Belly can become a really good fit for this Phillies team. You could slot into a long-term contract, would be a nice lefty bat in that stadium, would add into the middle of that order with guys like Harper, like Schwarber, like Castellanos, like JT Realmuto, like Bryson Stott, like Alec Bohm, like Trey Turner. I think that would just become a fantastic offense. And if you're a team facing the Phillies, you're going to have to go through a lineup that consists of JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott, Trey Turner, Alec Bohm, Nick Castellanos, Cody Bellinger, Brandon Marsh, and then Kyle Schwarber. And where's the out there? Where's the part where you can say, okay, this guy's up, you can relax? Maybe Bryson Stott. I mean, maybe Brandon Marsh, maybe Nick Castellanos, but even those guys are so good. I mean, Nick Castellanos, we know of his pedigree. Bryson Stott isn't that bad. Marsh isn't that bad. So that'd be an insane lineup to face. So I'm very interested to see what they do about that. Going with the Dodgers now, I think the Dodgers really just need some pitchers. We've been connected to Garrett Crochet a lot. I think they could use him. Also, with the Dodgers, they've been connected center fielders, but also I think it could be true. They really looked kind of like the Phillies as their future center fielder coming up last year with James Outman for the Dodgers. Obviously, Johan Rojas with the Phillies, but Outman is now in AAA, like the Phillies had to do with Rojas. So I think the Dodgers could look for a long-term answer at center field. They really have given up on James Outman. I think Jazz could be a potential fit there, even with all the negative stuff he said about Miguel Rojas. So I don't really know if that would fit, but baseball-wise, I think it could. I think Garrett Crochet and Luis Robert, kind of a mega deal for the Dodgers, would be great, and honestly, I think it makes a lot of sense. Robert's also someone that, of course, fits this Phillies team, but I don't really know if they have the prospects to get him. So Robert is someone I think both teams should be going after. I think both really have the same needs, which is a center fielder. I think the Dodgers need a pitcher, which the Phillies don't, so that's different. But yeah, both need a center fielder. I think the Dodgers need a pitcher. So yeah, be very interesting to watch this series overall. Be very interesting to watch what these two teams do at the deadline. And yeah, just very excited to see what is going to happen. So yeah, going into our fourth segment now, which is going to be talking about, let's get it up here, the Cy Young leaderboard, and just going over the guys on there and just talking about them. So yeah, we'll be going over that, and we'll see you after the break. So thanks, and bye.
For the best and latest